Hey everybody, it's Jay from Three Rivers Outdoors. We're happy to have you. It's summertime here in western Pennsylvania, and we planted a huge garden as we do every year. And if you're like most of us, you've planted some zucchini, and you get as many zucchinis as you can possibly eat. In fact, probably many more. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you a great recipe that we like to do to preserve some zucchini for the entire summer and make yourself a healthy paleo-style snack that you can eat completely without guilt. So if you give us a couple minutes, we're going to show you exactly how you can make a dehydrated zucchini chip that you can eat all summer and all fall and use up all the extra zucchini that you have and absolutely eat it without guilt. Take it anywhere you go. So guys, all you need to make this recipe, which is super simple, is some fresh garden zucchini, a little bit of olive oil. We like to put our olive oil in one of these Blackstone squirt bottles because it makes it a little easier. And then a couple of your favorite seasonings. For this recipe, we're going to use a Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning, and we're also going to use Tony Chachere's Original Creole seasoning. It says great on everything, and it literally is. So the way that we want to suggest that you slice these zucchini, you can use something like this Zucchini Pro, or you can do it, just with a knife if you'd like to prefer that. The goal is to make them uniform in thickness so they dehydrate properly and you don't have soggy chips. Soggy chips are the worst part of it, so if you can slice them in a uniform way, you're going to get the best outcome. So the first step is with the zucchini is just to cut the ends off here. And you're going to want to discard these two pieces. And then if you want to choose to use a knife, if you don't have one of these fancy devices, what you really want to do is just kind of make them about a 1/16 of an inch thick. Then you want to lay them out. So this is going to take you a little bit of time with a knife. However, they do slice very nicely. And as you can see, they're very thin, very nice. And what you're going to want to ultimately do is make them into a nice thin chip. So you want to give them just a little bit of thickness so when they dehydrate, they don't fall apart. But at the same time, you want them to not be overly thick, because if they are, they're going to get soggy. So please keep your zucchini slices very consistent. Okay guys, so once you have your nice thin slices, and again, you want to keep them as consistent as you can, you basically want to take all these and toss these in a bowl. So in the next couple minutes, we're going to slice up these 3 remaining zucchini. We're going to make them nice and uniform. We're going to show you how we season them and how we get them ready for the dehydrator. So once you've sliced your zucchini into uniform sizes, what we're going to do is we're going to actually make 2 flavors. As I said earlier in the video, the first flavor is going to be a ranch flavor, and the second flavor is going to be a Creole flavor. So the best way to get the flavors onto the zucchini are to coat them in a little bit of olive oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to estimate just a little bit, I don't know, maybe, I don't want to say a half a cup because that's probably not quite accurate, maybe a 1/4 of a cup. And then what you're going to do is you'll open your ranch packet. You're going to dump your ranch packet in. And once you've emptied that, then you're going to use your Creole packet. So like I said here, you're going to have one side that's ranch. We're going to do one side that's Creole. So we're going to coat this pretty well in Creole seasoning. Creole is a little spicy, so for those in the household that love a little bit of spice, you're going to want to make sure that you coat them evenly, and you're going to give it a healthy coating, because remember, this is going to dehydrate, and you've got a lot of zucchini in there. So we're going to put about a good 30 or so shakes of that Creole seasoning. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stir this around, and you'll see what it looks like when we're done coating them. So what you want to do is you want to take your dry powder and you want to sort of stir these up. Some people will say you can do it in a bag. That's great if you have that. If you have that option. We happen to be out of Ziploc bags right now, so we're doing this by hand. And you want to make sure that you get the seasoning over these as best as possible. And you kind of want to give them just a good toss so that you get the flavor over each of the little zucchini chips. And by nature, they're going to want to stick together, so you sort of you're going to break them apart as you go and give them a good solid stir. And then wash your hands, and you'll do the same exact thing for the Creole flavoring. So once you've sliced your zucchini, you've seasoned it, then what you're going to do now is you're going to take your individual slices, and I want you to lay them out evenly on the tray and spread them out as close as possible so you get as much room as you can. Now, our LEM dehydrator, and we'll put a link in the description. This is a great dehydrator, but you're going to get a lot of trays, 6 or 7 trays. So what will happen is these will get laid out and you'll be ready to go in a few minutes. Okay, so guys, the next step is to load your trays into your dehydrator or the oven if you have it. If you're using an oven, you definitely want to use something that there's good airflow around each. You want to load your lighter flavor, in our case the ranch, on the top, because in case there's any dripping in the first part of the cooking process, you want that to drip down. You definitely don't want your super spicy stuff dripping on your milder stuff. So we're going to load these into the dehydrator like this. You want to give a little bit of space between them. As you can see, we have our Creole on the bottom. There are 3 trays of each. We spread them out about as equally as possible. And now what we're going to do is we're going to close our dehydrator. And then we're going to turn this on to vegetables, which is 4 to 10 hours at 130 to 140 degrees. So what we'll do is we're actually going to turn it to 140 degrees, and we're going to set this at, we're going to set this to 12 hours because these zucchinis are really very moist. So you're going to hear the dehydrator start, and we're going to show you what happens tomorrow morning. The dehydrator has turned itself off. We had to extend the cook time here, dehydrate time, just a little bit. We put on for 12 hours. They stayed for about 14 hours, so we added about 4 hours to it. And this is kind of going to let you know what they look like. So remember how they looked when we put them on? These chips are now super crispy. They're actually like potato chips themselves. These were the ranch versions. Here you can sort of see how they're really nice. They come off super easy. And we didn't even really spray these trays with anything. Some people do. I don't really like to do that. But if you notice, our ones that were seasoned too with the Cajun are kind of the exact same way. So these all just popped out. They look and taste wonderful, and we think that this is a wonderful way for you to preserve and keep your zucchini, because you're going to have plenty of it if you have a garden. So we want to thank you again for tuning in to Three Rivers Outdoors. We always love your comments, so please leave a couple of nice comments, hit the like button, and hopefully you try our recipe. So we're going to enjoy our zucchini chips here, and we're actually going to take these down to the boat this weekend as a healthy alternative to potato chips. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed our recipe. Hopefully you enjoyed what you learned, and tune in for more videos. Thanks for watching Three Rivers Outdoors.